have a podcast for you.
I don't know how much I'll be able to talk this first little bit.
You look like Hannibal Lecter.
It's seeping into my nostrils.
So what you can't see, besides your nostrils, is our entire living room is in totes.
Mm-hmm.
So I have taken
a lot.
this opportunity to have a spa day.
Spa day?
Spa cast. Get your face masks. Get your pizza. Get your sodas. Your pops. Some tea. Some water. Hydrate. We go have a spoopy, chill, Northwood Tales spoopy podcast.
We're just going to tell some ghost stories today.
Some ghost in a place where we've been before.
Yes, many a times. Which is the Minneapolis Institute of Art.
Yes. One of my favorite art museums.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of really fun Asian
Yes.
artifacts.
And where there's old things, there is spoopy things.
I want that on a t-shirt. Should that be our t-shirt? Where there are old things, there are spoopy things.
Yes.
Love that. I'm a sloth today. It's not really sticking to my face.
I'm a disco ball.
Hell yeah.
It's just going down now. I don't know if I have it on the right way, but I thought this would be funnier.
Well, this is a nice, chill, spoopy podcast.
So, there's surprisingly 8 stories that I have found about ghost encounters at the Minneapolis Institute of Art.
Oh, no.
I'm sure there is more, because again, where there are old things, there are spooky things. There's so many artifacts dating back hundreds of thousands of years. They have a sarcophagus there.
They do.
It's empty.
Beautiful.
Is it empty? Presumably empty. I don't think it's actually open. Yeah, I would hope so. But it's a museum, so there may be a mummy in there. You never know. Have you seen that at the museum?
I would, all of the I've worked at 4 museums. The one I work at currently is kind of a living museum. It's an arboretum, collection of trees. But it would be so cool to work at, a place where like the artifacts come to life.
I've tried
I
applying
have so
here.
many questions for King Tut.
Yes, I've tried applying here multiple times. I need more experience. So if anybody wants to hire an art assistant or anything, hit me up.
Desperate
plug. Desperate plug. I need to have connections. I need to network. I'm not very good at that.
This is
the truth of today for jobs.
This is the spoopiest thing about the podcast.
Yes.
The truth.
Okay, so let's start with the 3rd floor corridor. And this story happened during the 2005 reinstallation to add a new wing to the museum. I believe this was up on the 3rd floor by the Silver Gallery. A staff member was staying late at night when he was leaving. He locked up and turned all the lights off. And as he was heading down the marble staircase...
Closing? Okay.
He's on his way out the door.
That's when spoopy things happen. I can concur.
He thought, let's see. No, when he was walking down the stairs, suddenly the lights turned on. He thought it was a security guard being nice and using the main control to turn the lights off. Or, not off, on. Turning on for him, because they have, like, a control room where they can, like, that's where all the cameras are. So the next day, he goes into their office, and he's like, hey, I wanted to thank whoever, like, turned the lights on for me. That was really nice of them. And the security guard was like, that's cool, but we don't have control over the lights in the main room. That's only kind of in your office. So the guy in the little interview, which I'll link all these down below. They have a bunch of the ghost stories on their website. He's like, well, at least the ghost likes me. So he turned the lights on for me and didn't, turn them off or like push me down the stairs or something.
Oh, the marble, right?
Yeah.
Big staircase.
It's that one, yeah. If you remember where that is.
Rushed down that. Should I find you?
Yeah. That one.
I'm going to take my face off.
It has not been 10 minutes.
I am exposed. I forgot my little tuft of hair.
Uh-oh.
Oh well.
So the next one takes place in Gallery 361.
Where's that?
It is up on... These are all on level 3, by the way. So there might be some correlation there. But this one was late at night at about 3:30. A security guard was watching the security monitors in the basement level of the museum. So she traveled down. Maybe it wasn't in that. But like she is...
That's
the
scary.
person, the spirit entity has correlations with the third floor. I'll just say that.
I don't like that.
It is said that he either turned his attention away from like the window or he nodded off and fell asleep while he was on duty because it's late at night. He heard or he awoke to a tapping on the window. He turned around and saw an old lady in a tattered wedding dress. She wagged her finger at him as in disapproval. So like and then she turned towards the door of the room and glided through it and vanished into thin air. The security guard never took a night shift again.
Oh, I wouldn't work there. I quit.
Yeah. So people believe that this could be the spirit of the woman in the painting Mrs. T in Cream Silk number 2. A portrait of a blue-eyed elderly woman dressed in her wedding gown. So that's who they think it is. And
There's just a lady running around in her dress just yelling at people for not doing their job.
Mm-hmm. She thinks that, she probably has an attachment to that photo. But they think it's her just by what he described and everything.
Scary.
The next one is in Gallery 333.
333?
Which is like the decorative arts and period rooms. It's like the center. Oh, center part. Not the individual period rooms yet. This is in the center portion, so they have a lot of the dishware, kitchenware, smaller decor pieces.
Okay, so it has like the mid-century.
Some of the furniture's in there too.
Okay,
yeah,
I remember that.
Like the buffet or the.
Is that where that little room you have to like find all the little things?
No.
Oh,
different room.
Oh no, this place is huge.
I can pull up a map in a little bit.
This place is ginormous.
Well, it's 3 floors
of artifacts.
Yeah. They're from all over the place. But this one, let me see if I can pull up the map real quick. And I can show you to that later.
My favorite part is still the modern art.
Oh.
Besides like the Asian artifacts.
Mm-hmm. You know what mine is.
We have to visit him every time we go.
The Impressionist section. Monet is my bae. Just so everyone knows, whether you care or not.
I do think it's kind of cool that we have like big name artists work in there.
Yeah.
It's not just some run off the mill art museum. We got
like
big wigs in there.
It's credibility wise and stuff. Like there's a campus nearby too, and it's an art design
institute.
Yep.
An actual place of work and study.
So this one in Gallery 333, which is like the main little area in between all the period rooms, security guard was patrolling the gallery, and he saw someone out of the corner of his eye, his peripheral.
It's always the peripheral. Mm-hmm. Oh no.
And he's been helping a lot of people lately, so he waits for the person to approach him if they have any questions. Then he realizes there wasn't any creaking on the floorboards, which is pretty uncommon because they bring a lot of the old original floorboards into the period rooms.
With like walking there. That's scary.
Whoops. So he turned his head and he noticed the person or spirit had vanished. So it was like a trick of the lights or something that he's just like, oop. Ooh, I lost a hair.
Awakens.
I'm no longer sparkly. My face is...
Oh, you're not a vampire no more?
No, I'm not a
You
vampire
boring.
anymore.
Oh.
Don't spill, please.
Oh, I smacking the mic.
Oh. But now I'm glistening like a basted chicken, so... Or a turkey. Where was I?
The terrified guard who saw a ghost.
Yes. A lot of these are the patrols, or either the janitorial staff or the security guards.
There's so many security. Like, every room has one.
They
I
have
don't
to
blame them.
Yeah.
But it's... Sometimes I feel the security to guest ratio is a dramatic shift.
I got too close to a Monet painting and she yelled at me. I just wanted to see his brushstroke.
Right?
And I was...
She's like, what is it, like a 11? No. What was the...
It was a handful of inches. I don't remember. Probably like 12 inches.
It was a very precise odd number.
I think it was like 12. I think it was just a foot. And I was like, oh, but I want to see his
But she said it by inch. Like, that's like an 11-inch space policy that we have.
I was very disappointed.
As an art major, I would have flashed that, like, excuse me, I'm an artiste.
Yeah, I don't mean to harm him. I just want to see his work. Okay, the next one is the Queen Anne room, which is in gallery 326. So this is part of the period. All of the rest of them, except for the very last one, are all part of the period room stuff. So they have brought all these pieces. Well, all of the pieces are brought in, but like a lot of are from like specific time periods. There's people's homes, specific homes that they bring in. And this one, another security guard was patrolling through the Queen Anne period room when he was When he was moving from that room to the next, he noticed a woman with a wide-brimmed hat walking past him. He turned around to let her know that the museum was closed, but when he turned around to look at her, she disappeared.
Oh, nope.
After this experience, he was nervous to patrol the period rooms for a few days after.
I wouldn't.
He went back to it. He's like, in the interview, because these are actual people interviews that are on the website, he said he wasn't necessarily nervous. Or like he was like off put. It was just strange.
Felt sick.
And then the next one is the room next to it, adjacent. We've been to all of these.
I'm trying to like remember which rooms are which.
And this is the...
I'm just scaring myself because I know we're gonna go back.
Is it the Georgian room? 327. And in 2008, a member of the museum staff was cleaning the Georgian room. Suddenly, her radio made a strange static noise, but she didn't hear a voice. Like, it wasn't anyone, unless someone bumped their own radio.
Static. So, like, where I work, we use radios. Because
Well, I don't know if the actual was static. It was just, like, a strange something, but I just put static.
So
they described it
with the radio, if they're using similar radios that we use at work, just pressing the button, you'll just hear kind of this very light, like, radio soft sound, and then it turns off as soon as you unpress the button.
Yeah.
But you know the difference between like an oopsie and like I'm holding it down waiting to talk.
Yeah.
Static is not. That's
And I'm sure she'd realize that too if they use it all the time.
more common.
And then after that happened, she heard the floorboards creaking on the other side of the room. She looked in that direction but saw no one.
I can't finish my pizza. I'm scared.
Soon after she heard the noises, the mirrors and the portrait over the fireplace, which is a family portrait, kind of made her uneasy, and she felt like someone was watching her. So she finished cleaning and immediately left after she was done. Like
I'll stick with the Asian artifacts.
That's spooky that she mentioned mirrors too, because those are like portals.
That is like the biggest thing too.
That's scary. Portraits.
We're not going in there.
Portals. We've been in there.
I know we have. We're not going back.
And then the room adjacent to that is the Tudor room. It's like across the hall. And 325. This one, it has a couple of different ones.
Oh,
We'll get to the most spoopy one, the Connecticut room, later.
What? Like the haunting in Connecticut?
Maybe they took it from that house. I have no idea. Believe what you want to believe.
No.
So in 2009, one of the janitorial staff was cleaning the fountain around 10 p.m. outside of the Tudor room when he heard the door open inside the room, followed by footsteps. And he didn't give it a second thought because there was security guards usually patrolling and whatnot. So he's like, whatever. But when no one exited the room, he decided to investigate because that's the door he was by was the only way in and out. So he's like, okay, no one's leaving. Like, what's happening in here? And he went to investigate, but he didn't see anybody in there. So later on that night, he asked the security guard who usually patrols like the area of the third floor, the only one who could be in there. But the guard said that he was not on the third floor at 10 p.m.
Ooh.
So something was moving around in the tutor room.
See, I believe these, since I've worked in 2 different mansions, I 100% believe that this is spooky to me.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I'm scared.
Another story from this room was about when a guard was closing down for the night again. So later, obviously. In 2007, a guard was turning off the lights when he heard one of the chairs scrape across the floorboards, kind of like someone was pushing the chair back to get up. You know how you like scoot?
Mm-hmm.
And then that was followed by another scrape, so maybe like he pushed and then went up and it kind of moved it again. So he went to look, but he didn't see anybody in the room.
Oh. It's always the chairs. I don't know why. Chairs and doors.
Mm-hmm.
Chairs moving indoors. So,
A rocking chair. Just, okay.
In there, I would believe it.
Yeah.
Anywhere else, be like, nah. In there, 100%.
Okay, and the next one is the Connecticut room, which is in the period room areas. It's 331 is the gallery. This one seemed to have the most stories, and I don't know if it's just the most active. I'm not sure if it's the same spirit who just likes to, do stuff.
I'm scared.
Psh, pish posh. Yeah, so there's a large number of paranormal reports for this room. One was from a new guard. It was his first day, and he was patrolling, and he walked into the Connecticut room. And almost immediately, the hair on the back of his neck stood up, and he felt like he was being watched.
That's great.
And
first impressions.
he went in one other time, and he had the same reaction. So he made it a point to stay away from that room unless he absolutely had to go in.
I don't like that.
And then one day, he decides to bring his girlfriend on tour of the museum. And he's told her stories about this room. So she's like, hey, please, can we go in this room? They convinced him to go into the room. And when they approached, they walked through the doorway, and then all of the alarms, like security alarms, went off in that room, as well as like a nearby gallery area, like when they walked in. This kind of solidified that there was something eerie about this room, and he did not want to go back.
Mm-mm.
So
Absolutely
I don't know if it just was
Have I been
playing
in
with...
this room?
Yeah, that's the picture right there.
I don't remember that room.
No, it's there. It's been there.
You
It doesn't
remember that
have,
room?
yeah, it doesn't have as much stuff in it. It's right, I think it's right across from the Queen Anne. What did I say that one was? 331.
Because I don't remember this room. Uh-oh.
That one, I could have sworn it was across from the Queen Anne, which is like over here. I thought it was in one of these, but I don't see 331 there.
Ugh.
It's over there somewhere. Maybe it was that one
Icky.
by itself. I don't remember.
The unnumbered
The
room?
unnumbered one.
The room that has no number on it?
Possibly. I'm sure. Let me click it.
Spoopy.
Is it that one? Yeah. Yeah. They just didn't put the number 331.
I don't like it.
So that's not connected directly to the other period rooms like I thought. The other ones are the ones that we walked through.
Entity?
It has its own little room.
Ew. Ew.
And that's not the only story. Visitors have reported feeling tugs on their coat sleeves or hands touching their own hands, like
Someone grabbing their hand?
not like aggressively, but like a child would grab your hand to like kind of show you something, or
There's
like a graze.
Ghost baby in there?
No, they don't think it's a child. They think it's a man. Others have reported seeing a shadowy figure in the doorway of the gallery. One guest even complained about a rowdy ghost to the guard. And then when the guard told the ghost to behave and quiet down, the activity actually subsided.
What?
Yeah. It's also said to be colder than a lot of the other rooms, too. So that's another sign.
Ew.
Yeah. But can you imagine? Just be like, hey, there's a ghost, like, wreaking havoc in here. Can you tell him to stop?
And the guard just be like, knock it off. You're being annoying. Cut it out.
That's what they said. Yeah. That's hilarious.
That's crazy. The ghost is like, my bad. All right.
I'll quiet down, I guess. But this is my house,
Yeah.
dude. Get out. And there's also been ghost hunters that investigated this room specifically.
Wow.
And they took readings, and they said that there's a ghost of a man that's attached to the bed. So that's how they think the spirit got kind of brought in.
Okay, don't take a nap in there.
Which makes sense, though, because more than one guard has said that they've come into the room to see the curtains drawn or closed around the bed when they keep them open because
so
it's
you
a
can
museum.
See it. Yeah, you got to see the as much as the artifact as you can.
So yeah, and then they'll reopen them, go back in later.
Do we know,
They're closed.
is anything a part of the bed 100% original?
Mm-hmm.
So the curtains are original, everything?
Pretty sure. Pretty sure.
Ugh.
At least the bedpost would be, yeah. But, I mean... Or they tried to get it as close as possible with maybe the curtains and the sheets.
Maybe
but
he don't like his sheets.
There's authentic chairs and
Ugh.
whatever that dresser...
Ew.
But that seems to be the most active. And then there's...
All because some dude wants to take a nap.
He's just like, just leave me alone. This is my house. I don't want to be seen. Let me draw the curtains. Like, just
like, I'm in my pants.
Just leave me alone.
Let me nap.
And the next one is the Grand Salon, which is Gallery 318.
Saloon?
Is it Saloon or Salon? I thought Saloon had two O's.
Salon.
And this portion of the gallery displays items and furniture from a 1730s Royal French tax collector's party room. And he lived in Paris.
Croissant.
And this is the one with that giant mirror and the fireplace in there. And they mimic...
Is it the white room?
They mimic, yes.
Like the thunderstorm?
Yes.
I love this room. Am I going to hate this room now?
Maybe.
Oh, no.
So a security guard heard singing and dancing and laughter coming from the room. Walked over to tell the guests that it was time to leave because the museum had closed. When he arrived, there was no one there. And if you've ever been to this gallery, you know they play sound effects and lights simulating a full 24-hour day in the 1700s.
It's so cool.
1730s. This predates that, though. So they didn't have any sound from that room. So the laughter and stuff he heard was either ghost children or actual children.
Both are equally terrifying.
But who knows? Like, it was his party room, the French tax collector's party room. Maybe it was young girls that had went there to play... Well, do they allow them to play poker? Maybe it was the guy's daughters or something that somehow attached to the fireplace, the poker chairs or something. I don't know.
Or some little demon kids.
Who just decided to... They're running around the whole... Maybe they're attached to a whole different portion of the gallery and they just like to run around.
Oh, no.
So
That's so scary.
Yeah.
My mom was in that room. Mom.
So the last story I want to talk about is...
Is it the naked man?
Yeah, I think that's him. I think that's the one.
It's not a real man.
It's a statue. Marble statue. He's missing some things. So this is the third floor rotunda. And a young girl
like
and
that
her...
open?
The circle. Yeah. A young girl and her mother were on the third floor, so at the very top, looking down over the railing into the rotunda below, so that it goes down
Scabby.
2 floors, because there's 3 floors total. The girl saw a man in a red sweater vest laying on the ground, just kind of chilling there.
He's
like,
just taking a nap, too?
doing his thing. No, he was like looking. He was moving.
Oh, okay.
That's what the little girl said. She continued to watch as the man started to float, still laying down in the laying position. Like,
Squeeze me?
Nobody else saw this either. There's no other like reports of this. It's just the little girl. And she said the man was kind of see-through, and because of this, she knew he wasn't real.
Smart girl. Mm-hmm.
No one else.
I've had my fun. I'm gonna leave.
Yeah.
I'm gonna head out.
No one else saw the man. And the girl's mother says this isn't the first time her daughter has reported seeing strange occurrences like this.
Oh, she's sensitive.
That's why she knows, oh, he's see-through. He's not real.
Spoopy.
Yeah.
So
I'm wondering.
Some dude in a sweater vest just floating around.
Yeah. Why would he be floating down there? Did you think he fell?
He could have.
I don't know if there's any reports of like a death happening at the
That is kind of
Institute.
a scary.
Well, why else
to,
would
like,
you just
look
be
down.
like this and just kind of, just
When you say it
float
like that,
away?
you maybe he's a magician.
He could be, practicing. No one can see me but the 7-year-old little girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was young.
Scary.
Yeah.
It's always the little kids.
Mm-hmm. They're like hyper intuitive to this kind
Yeah.
of stuff. Yeah.
I don't like that.
But I think we've been to all of these rooms. I haven't felt anything, but I've always been preoccupied.
Oh, yeah. No, you
with
take her
looking.
to anything that has framed paintings. She's glued. She's got like the
Tunnel vision.
tunnel vision, the blinders on. All she sees is Claude Monet.
Yes, I look for Monet.
She sees nothing else.
You'll lose me.
We've lost you
Yes.
several times.
And you don't get good service because it's all brick.
No, you don't get good. That's also another scary aspect of this place. Like, if we lose you, we can't find you.
Nope. I'll meet you out front and we'll
We meet at
designate
the
a time.
stairs.
Yeah. Designate a time. If we get lost, meet back here at 4. Perfect.
I'll just scream.
Hello.
Oh, that's so scary that we were in there and there's ghosts.
Yeah. I kind of want to go back to the Connecticut room just because that's the most activity. And I guess now that I'm like aware that there is something, maybe I'll notice something.
I'm going to pay more attention to the furniture, that's for sure.
What do you mean?
Working in a museum, like the chairs that have been moved and like the bedding.
Yeah.
You could, if there's a ghost, you might see like a butt imprint on the bed. Stuff like that.
I didn't even think of that. I'll just be like, hello. Show me a sign.
No. No.
Well, he doesn't sound like he's a bad spirit, the Connecticut room one. It just sounds like he's like, stay out of my room.
I want
Close
a nap.
the curtains.
Stop
I'm
it.
going to sleep.
It's nap time.
Yeah, none of these spirits sound malevolent at all. So
Which is
that's a good thing. Because who knows what could be brought in?
Yeah, I mean, when you're collecting furniture, just period appropriate furniture for a space, you don't care who owned it as long as it's accurate to the time period.
And I feel like that has a higher chance of like being attached to something.
Ghost.
Yeah. Because it's something that you use every day.
Oh, yeah.
So there
100%.
is significance to it. Versus like, here's my teapot that's been in my china cabinet for years and it's just there for looks,
But here's my bed where
Right.
I'm going to take a nap.
Right?
A little sleep.
This is where I died.
Oh.
He could have died in that bed. You never know. Maybe that's why he's attached.
Yeah. Aww.
But no, they all
but,
seem
I
nice,
guess, I
if
guess
not
we
just
gonna
normal.
have to go here and
Yes.
see.
And we're going to be close now since, again, we're moving to St. Paul, which is hop, skip, and a jump to Minneapolis across the water, across the Mississippi.
It's right across the river. Mm-hmm. Gonna be so close to the ghosts. Next spoopy story is gonna be fun too. Mm-hmm. But us going to the locations will be even more fun.
Yes, which we want to post vlogs on here, but if you want to see behind the scene footage and funny
The fun bits.
things.
This extra spoopy funny.
Go to our Patreon, which we have linked below, or just search us on the Northwood Tales Podcast on
We're
Patreon.
the only one.
We are the only one.
Literally the only one.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
Support us. Help us buy coffee if you like listening.
Or just
We
help.
enjoy coffee.
Let's help us get to the locations.
And that too. Pay for a little bit of gas. But mostly coffee.
Gas money.
Coffee.
You're done with the podcast. Time for coffee.
Time for coffee.
Okay. We'll see you in St. Paul.
Next one. Goodbye.
Bye.